How's it going, boys? Johnny Superb Man here, and it's time for us to have our NHL 15 quick review, because the newest edition in the NHL franchise has been out for almost 2 months now, and I've decided to do a quicker review based on the release. I want to talk about what the game had to offer during the first month. Also, know that this review is only about the Xbox One and PS4 versions of NHL 15. I may do a full review at the end of the game's life cycle, but sadly for some, the game is already dead to them. On Metacritic.com, the Metascore and user scores for the current gen NHL 15 is in the trash, and it should be in my opinion. Even though some may say that this game is awesome, any true gamer who has played any hockey game in the last 5 years knows exactly how little this game has to offer. Now, I know you guys want me to talk about the bad in NHL 15, and I will, but let's start by focusing on what was promoted for this game. The presentation, backed by the power from the current gen consoles. The presentation upgrade is simply fantastic. Everything from the updated arenas, which have tremendous amounts of detail, to the team's intros with the view of the city that you're playing in, the new commentators, Doc Emrick and Eddie Olchuk, who both do a great job. You know, it just feels a lot better while starting up a game. And even though I have heard a few similar intros from Doc and Eddie in my Toronto Maple Leafs season,
sport in that sometimes your best players only wind up playing a third of the time, but boy, do they ever make a contribution.
I am still hearing new ones as I play different teams and get farther into the season, so that is a good thing. But you know, my favorite part of the new presentation, it's simply when you pause the game and you go into instant replay. If you zoom up to a player, it looks incredible. And that's all there while you're playing. You just have to hit pause and go right into the replay, take a look at it. It's clearly an upgrade from NHL 14, which is a good thing, and it's also a nice foundation for the NHL franchise for the next few years. Now, while the presentation is nice, video games are not bought to be looked at. Video games are bought to be played. It's right there in the title. It's a video game, not video art. And this is where NHL 15 fails. NHL 15 looks better than it plays, and that's a video game violation. Look at a game like Minecraft, a game that plays way better than it looks. And I'm going to use Minecraft a lot in this review to show glaring differences between a game that is arguably one of the best and most popular games in the world right now to a game that sold less than 200,000 units in its first week globally across both Xbox One and PS4. Here's a quick example of NHL 15 looking better than it plays. The menu screens in NHL 15 no doubt look better. It's clearly a visual upgrade when you look back at NHL 14. But when you start playing with the menu screens, you realize how unresponsive and delayed they are. Look at your trading block, for example. In NHL 15, to change teams in the trading block, you have to press and hold left trigger, then push right or left until you find the team that you want, then let go of left trigger and wait an extra second for the team to pop up. In NHL 14, to change teams in the trading block, all you have to do is push left trigger or right trigger. That's it. And it changes as quick as you can push the trigger as well, making it more responsive than NHL 15. Also, let's say as a GM, you just want to go through every team to see what's available. Well, let's compare. Look how much faster I can scroll through and take a look at every team's trading block on NHL 14. You can see how much faster 14 is compared to 15 in this aspect. And there are so many other examples of this stuff in NHL 15. How about Hockey Ultimate Team? Let's compare how quickly we can change our first line center with the first available center who's not dressed. NHL 15 takes more than 3 seconds longer to do the exact same action. Now, I realize 3 seconds isn't the end of the world, but that was for one change. What happens when you start to build an entire team with separate lineups and you start to add in training and durability cards with contracts as well? Then seconds turn to minutes and the minutes turn to hours over the course of the year. The time really does add up by the time next September comes around. Not enough? How about when you're searching for players in the auction house? Notice how you have to manually scroll from left to right all the way through? In NHL 14, you could simply flip the page by pressing left or right trigger. The same goes for your consumables. You have to manually go through them all. NHL 14 was much better in this regard. And this is my point when I say NHL 15 looks better than it plays. Now, if we go back to Minecraft, this game responds to you as quick as you can react. The menu screens move as soon as I click something. In the game, I can build whatever I want, whenever I want. And if I want to quit the game and head back to the menu screen, it literally takes a second. There's no waiting in Minecraft. And sadly, the same can't be said for NHL 15. Next, I want to talk about what you can actually play in NHL 15. And when you compare what you had last year or in the previous years to what you have this year, it leaves a big frown on your face. And this is one of the reasons why so many people stopped playing this game. Here's a list of game modes that were taken out of the game. No EASHL, no OTP, no GM Connected, no Shootout, no Live the Life, no Fantasy Draft, no creation or player editing, no create a play, no build your AI, no entry draft for GM mode, and no real-time simulation for GM mode. All of these being present in both NHL 13 and 14. Also, Be a Pro's gone backwards. It's basically NHL 12's Be a Pro, with no simming between shifts and a completely random entry draft. The only real game mode NHL 15 has to offer is Hockey Ultimate Team. I mean, I don't consider Versus Game Online or Offline to be a game mode, EA. I don't consider GM mode or a playoff mode to be an actual game mode. These are core elements to a hockey game, in my opinion. These are basic features that have been in NHL games for the last 20 years and should be in the game. Now, I realize that there have been patches since the game has been released, but I don't care what is in the game now. EA clearly wanted us to pre-order this game, so tell me, why ask us to pre-order a game that's not fully ready on day one? How many people bought the game in the first week and stopped playing it because it has next to nothing to offer? If you don't enjoy Hockey Ultimate Team, then there was nothing else to play in this game. EA, you guys dropped the ball big time. And by the way, I know you want Hockey Ultimate Team to be the most popular game mode, but it's not. It's simply just not. Hockey Ultimate Team is fine when it's part of the whole package, but in NHL 15, it is the package. It's not a coincidence that Hockey Ultimate Team was ready day one either. I know for a fact that if EASHL or Shootout mode made EA more money than Hockey Ultimate Team, then those game modes would be in the game, no question. And for anyone in the comments who's saying, well, Johnny, you know that they patched in a lot of new features, I say this, raise your expectations and stop accepting this crap. We're talking about Electronic Arts here, supposedly one of the top video game companies in the world, so I'm going to point out this stuff. Patching in a GM draft or a playoff mode or an OTP mode doesn't count for me. These have been in NHL games for the last 6 years and are supposed to be in the game day one. You want to patch something, EA? How about that fighting glitch that happens on the old gen versions of NHL 15, where when one goalie tries to fight and the fighting tab flashes in the top corner and doesn't go away for a long period of time. That's been in the last few titles and it's still there. You haven't patched that.
Oh my god, I can't see. Where's the puck?
These content patches that they release they're almost like builds for the game. It's like we bought a beta and they're just building the game over a year right on front of us. And the real sad part about the game modes topic is that, I was hoping eventually we would see a skills competition or maybe online mini games, stupid little crap, but in addition to what we already had. But you know what? It now seems like EA is just going to release the same game modes over the next few years. NHL 16, it'll come out and it will introduce for the first time on current gen consoles online shootouts. And then NHL 17 will come out and it will introduce for the first time on current gen consoles using the power of the Global 4000X and the Kiss Our Ass 1080p 1000. Live the life mode. Why should we be excited for the future, EA, when you've taken 10 steps back? Now let's switch over to a game mode that is actually in the game, Hockey Ultimate Team. And I don't want to talk too much about Hockey Ultimate Team because I truly hate Hockey Ultimate Team in NHL 15. The off-ice Hockey Ultimate Team product is fine, except for the slower menu screens, which I pointed out earlier. A good thing about Hockey Ultimate Team is that the $70 player can earn good players fairly easy by just playing games and using the daily rewards, which everyone appreciates, so that is a good thing, no problem here. But the problem with Hockey Ultimate Team, again, is the on-ice product, just like the previous titles, the on-ice product. 80% of the skaters in a Hockey Ultimate Team game are controlled by the computers, and they're completely and utterly useless. It's a damn joke to see some of the things that the AI does. All I gotta say is offsides, the big red goof. Oh, Glifford. Fucking hell, man. Stay onside, you stupid idiots. And terrible positional awareness. Why should I have any faith in your ability, EA, to program competent computer AI when you can't even spell check things? Why should I have any faith in the AI when my first OTP game froze? Why should I have any faith in the AI when the game doesn't even show the stats in my season mode 20 plus games in? I'm supposed to believe that you guys can program complicated, creative computer AI when you can't even accomplish the basics? No. The AI in this game is of the same quality as the rest of the game. Looks good, plays like crap. Another new feature when it comes to gameplay is the new Superstar skill stick, and I must say, I do like it, and I wish I could talk more about it, but again, the computers really take away from this new experience. It does seem like a good step, but it's impossible to judge the new mechanics in this mess they call hockey because the computers don't really take advantage of it. I mean, they'll go backwards in a shootout trying some new dekes, right? It's over, because he went backwards with this deke! What, isn't there any beta testing? Where you say, all right, the computer's going to do this deke on a penalty shot, but he goes backwards with it, so we don't want that to happen. That happened on the second shot, and then the third shot, look, the same thing. Goes back in. Listen, it's over right there. And they're very easy to take advantage of using this new skill stick. They don't stop it very well at all. I mean, you can just dangle around the computers on the hardest difficulty all day long. I mean, I need to experience this new skill stick in a 6v6 EASHL club game where both teams know what they're doing to tell if it's overpowered or redundant or buggy. So far, I guess it's a step in the right direction. So there it is, NHL 15 in a nutshell. In my opinion, it's an extremely bad game, and the problem comes from how the game is now created. It's like the game is no longer a product for the gamers. This game has become a promotional vehicle for EA Sports to help get them to where they want to go. It used to be all about the units sold, which required you to create a good game, but now, I mean, they have the units sold, but they also have the Hockey Ultimate Team transactions. They have all the advertisements in the game. I mean, Jesus, NHL 15 brought to you by Honda.
Tonight's game is sponsored by Honda.
Ignite Engine, Gatorade,
Plays of the Month, fueled by Gatorade.
Bauer, CCM, Reebok, Warrior, Sherwood, NBC, NBCSN, NHL Network, EA Access, Tim Hortons, Honda Fit, Discover Game Changer, Honda Pilot, Ray Ferraro, Honda CRV, NHL.com Live Games, EA Sports, and they even put a pure hockey commercial in the game.
Are you done?
Do not go in there.
They also have a cover vote that they hold annually, which sends tons of traffic to their websites and social media accounts. Even though we all know that EA will decide who's on the cover, we all help to promote the game by raising awareness of the cover vote and by participating in it. They also will head out to E3 and show the game off to people who don't know anything about the NHL franchise, and will receive awards such as Best Sports Game at E3, and then use that award to further promote their game, asking for pre-orders and such. They'll also recruit Patrice Bergeron and Brad Marchand and make funny commercials to fool us into thinking that these guys are actually playing and enjoying NHL 15.
I just took a trip to hockey heaven.
Hockey heaven? My ass, Brad Marchand. So you see, they use the NHL games to help accomplish their goals. And the sad part is that satisfying their loyal customers is clearly not that high up on their priorities. You know, NHL 15, it's like a smelly turd. EA, you guys have taken a messy pile of crap and made it look and smell great with your fancy promotional techniques and the makeover that you gave it using the power of the current gen consoles, blah blah blah. But the problem is when the consumer buys this golden turd, the gamers, your loyal customers, and we take it home, we open it up, and we bite down into the core, we all realize that it's still just a piece of shit.
NHL 15, you'll never feel the same.
You're damn right I won't feel the same. I no longer think the NHL franchise is headed in the right direction. I mean, I only play NHL 15 on current gen to get paid. That's it. I never played this game just for fun, and I've played every single NHL game since NHL 2000. Now, when it comes to NHL 15 on old gen, I do play it. I love the updated GM mode, I love EASHL, and I love the new physics. I play old gen NHL 15 for fun all the time. So ask yourselves, EA, why is that? Ask yourselves, why is a game like Minecraft so much better when it clearly looks so much worse than NHL 15? If you don't know the answer, EA, there's a major problem. And I would love to come down to Vancouver, sit down with the developers, and discuss the basics of video gaming so that we can improve this franchise. I mean, I have so many radical and simple ideas for these games, and I'll work for free, damn it. I just want a good hockey game. And you know what? I could rant forever, but I'm just going to end with this. Imagine NHL 15 the way it is right now, but subtract the NHL rights. So that means no official teams, no official arenas, and no official players. So with that in mind, ask yourselves, is NHL 15 by itself still a fun hockey simulator? For Johnny Superb Man and the Great Domsky, take it easy, boys, and we'll see you next time.